So now that Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Walt Disney World is pretty much complete, with the cast member previews now beginning before the official opening, let's dive in and discuss the differences in the layout between Disneyland's version and Walt Disney World's version up next. This episode of DSNY Newscast is sponsored by Mickey Travels. Hi there Waltoneers, I'm Jack and this is of course DSNY Newscast, and you know what, let's just jump straight into it. So when Disney CEO Bob Iger announced at D23 Expo in 2015 that two 14-acre Star Wars themed lands would be coming to both Disneyland and Walt Disney World, it was understood that because these were being developed and designed in tandem, that they would essentially be nearly identical to one another, as despite it being easy to conceptualize two completely different Star Wars lands for each coast, in reality it would have not been cost effective to do so. Whereas with Walt Disney World and Disneyland catering to very different demographics, it was more logical for Walt Disney Imagineering to focus on creating one ultra immersive setting of Black Spire Outpost, with incredible attention to detail and a whole new level of storytelling. However, just because both versions of Galaxy's Edge are set on the planet of Batuu doesn't mean that they don't have subtle differences throughout the land that make each Black Spire outpost unique. Now these differences aren't huge, but definitely worth pointing out, as Disneyland's version expanded the overall footprint of the park by repurposing backstage space coupled with a shortening of the rivers of America to create a wider, more elongated shape that stretches further with a winding pathway into the Resistance Forest, whereas you can see that the Walt Disney World version is definitely a more boxier design, with more space being accessible for further expansion. But easily the biggest difference is Disneyland's 3 entrances versus Walt Disney World's 2, as this area in Disneyland is the Fantasyland entrance, but in Disney World this archway is unoccupied next to the tie echelon, leaving it as unused extra space, which isn't necessary for the backstage operations of the Kylo Ren interrogation show, as in Disneyland that is accessed off to the left hand side, and we can see that the same will be the case for the Disney World version of the show as well. So not utilising this space does seem like a missed opportunity for another interactive experience area, another retail space which could easily be added, or even some additional covered seating or extra theming to help separate the two lands a little more. But then moving on over to the Grand Avenue main entrance, you can see that the positioning of the Resistance X-Wing and the A-Wing are on opposite sides, compared to that of Disneyland where they are grouped together. Now this is probably a way to help slow down the guest flow through this area before having crowds separate off towards the marketplace or towards the First Order area. Whereas over in Disneyland, the narrowing pathway in front of Rise of the Resistance naturally slows down the guest flow. Now the other entrance in Disney World is from Toy Story Land into Galaxy's Edge, and it offers a chance for a little extra theming, such as the remnants of a crashed ship in this crater, which is said to be from the wreckage of a Starspeeder 3000 and a certain RX droid. But throughout the two lands, the big discernible difference is the overall deeper and darker colour palette that's been used in Walt Disney World, which in many ways does make the aging effect of Black Spire Outpost seem a little bit artificial. But the reason why we're seeing darker paint schemes being used is because of the harsh bleaching from the Floridian sun that the Walt Disney World version will have to withstand. And with regards to some really subtle differences, I'll put a link down below to a Laughing Place article which compares the differences between Walt Disney World and Disneyland extremely well. Now the last big difference between these lands is of course alcohol, as at Disney's Hollywood Studios you can get alcoholic beverages around the entire land, whereas in Disneyland you're strictly confined to drinking the alcoholic beverage within Ogre's Cantina. And with the cast member previews now well underway, we know that the alcoholic blue milk will be served with rum and the green milk will be served with tequila, with both being available to be bought from the milk stand, although Disney is using square-shaped cups to help cast members distinguish the difference between the alcoholic and non-alcoholic variants of the blue and green milk. However, whilst we're talking about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, there is one last thing I'd like to discuss. As late last week, Walt Disney Imagineering uploaded a 35-part video series all about the Imagineering process in partnership with the Khan Academy. but hidden away well within these 35 videos were a few very short clips of the cancelled third attraction concept for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, as we actually received concept art for this back at the D23 Expo in 2015, but then it was never officially released. And the ride in question was actually more of a mode of themed transportation around Galaxy's Edge, similar to that of the Main Street vehicles, where you would actually ride on the back of a bantha in a type of Grand Circle tour of Black Spire Outpost. And you can actually see that the concept got quite far along with the testing of the ride system and also the maneuverability before it was inevitably cut from the project, probably because of concerns regarding space restrictions and also the effect that it would have on the crowds, which is definitely a shame as it would have added a whole new level of incredible kinetic energy throughout the entire land. And now I'd just like to say a quick thanks to our sponsor for today's episode, as Mickey Travels were only one of a select few travel agencies in the entire world that have Disney's Platinum Earmark status. So if you're looking to book a Disney vacation, Mickey Travels will handle all aspects of your trip and do it all for free, as they never charge for their services. So to get your free quote today, visit mickeytravels.com in the description box or call them on the number below. But now let's turn our attention to D23 Expo, as after all it's taking place at the end of this month. And you're probably aware I've been doing some prediction videos of what to expect from not just the Disney movies presentation, but also the Disney parks. But there has been one thing that's been lurking within the D23 Expo calendar, and that is a 1-hour time slot on the Saturday for a secret Walt Disney Company project to be discussed, as an official announcement will be made on Thursday, August 22nd, which I personally think might have something to do with a new line of business that Disney is currently exploring, or maybe even an announcement of a strategic partnership with another company. But either way, we'll cover it all as we get closer to the Expo. And also on Friday the 23rd of August, to kick off the Expo, there will be a presentation on the Disney Plus streaming service that is launching in the United States on November 12th. And for those attending D23 Expo, that you'll get an exclusive hands-on first look at the Disney Plus mobile and tablet app and also the TV experience at a Disney Plus Expo show floor pavilion, which is going to be a great way to browse the interface and test its features and limitations before subscribing in November. But rest assured, I'll be covering everything, including Disney Plus, here on DSNY Newscast. But now, it's over to you, Walt, and as I would like to know, what would you have realistically changed or added to either one of these lands to create a little bit of differentiation between the two different versions of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but without drastically increasing the budget? And personally, I would have made better use of that third entrance area, which is not featured in Walt Disney World. And importantly, don't forget to put the timestamp for where the hidden Mickey appeared somewhere within this video, along with your suggestion or your comment, to be in with a chance to win one of these official DSNY Newscast enamel pins. And congratulations to this Waltner here for winning this suggestion from a previous video where we were talking all about our movie predictions for D23 Expo. And so that's it for today. So go ahead and subscribe down below if you're new to this channel. Hit that notification icon so that you always receive an update when these videos come out on a Tuesday and a Thursday. And also, if you've enjoyed today's video, give this video a massive thumbs up, as it really does help this channel out. And I've been Jack, you've been you, and I'll see you real soon.